Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. How is the week going? We don't really have any major fundamentals today. Last time I checked, we only have a news by 3 p.m. and the news is not a major news. It's not a major. I believe everybody can see my screen, right? Everybody can see my screen, right? It's not a major news. So me jump into the market. Please, everybody, can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see my screen? Just can drop a message for me to be.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right. So today, this is Technical Tuesday, and I want every one of us to look at what we are having. I've not been able to catch any trade last week, and I'm currently looking at Euro USD, which I was trying to tell Billion that I may likely play politics with Euro USD. That is, I may likely adjust my terms and conditions which I want to use to pick up this particular trade. And the reason for that is just because I have a monthly mitigation which shows this particular downtrend. Let me pick out her. So I'm seeing all this bigger picture here as that trade movement to the downside. And because of the monthly time frame, which we have this mitigation level here, is the mitigation level here. And I was like, okay, if that has happened already on the monthly, and we have rejection from last week, not always the market will come back and mitigate our hobby, since we already had this rejection from that level. And currently now, the weekly time frame has also given me a change of character to the downside, which is this particular hand here. And if you see, market pull back to this weekly order block that sponsor this change of character. And we had this reaction, this rejection from here. We had this massive drop last week to the bearish candle. This week is trying to push up. And because of that, I was like, okay, if this market is moving this direction, I may likely try to alter my condition, because part of the condition is the market supposed to take out this particular guy here to the downside. That's part of the condition. The market is supposed to take it out. But I noticed that the market has not done that up to now. And that level is even holding the market, pushing the market to the upside. But because what the bigger picture has given me, that's why I'm able to mark out this daily hobby, which the market reacted from and dropped to the downside. So currently now, if you check also on the daily, I have change of character to the downside. And I'm currently looking at this level here as a full correction, which the market has mitigated this daily order block as well. So because of that, and I'm looking at, okay, I'm likely trade the internal structure of this particular market, looking at this range here. The internal structure here has also given me a market movement here. We've gotten the bigger picture already. I'm not looking at the internal structure now. And on the 4 hours time frame, I'm now looking at, okay, at which point can I take advantage? I know is it last week now, we're looking at this whole level here. So what I'm now looking at now is, if this movement here continue, which is here, continue back to this particular level here. Once market enter this level, and one of the reasons why I'm using this whole level here, which I'm not, because now I'm supposed to refine it to this, maybe this smaller level here. I want to see market reaction within this particular range. One of the things you'll be looking at is the way the market is trying to give us this correction back here. That is one thing I'm really big on. I love the way we are having this particular correction. So by the time I can get into this particular level, he has given me my change of character within this particular range. Then I would like to take a shot on Euro USD. Please don't forget that I'm looking at some terms to make it work. I love the correction mode. That's the first thing. And the bigger picture has given me reason to say, okay, I can find a way to take this particular shot. Now, looking at that, please, I want us to be attentive in respect to what I just want to explain now. Looking at the market coming back here, also, I was also looking at the lower time frame movement that, okay, I can choose to scalp from any of these valid OB because the internal structure shifted already on the lower time frame to the upside, right? We had that shift, lower time frame to the upside. Now, this kind of a trade is always advisable for set of traders who has already mastered their psychology or mastered their risk, that you won't pick it, that trade and struggling with yourself. So I'm looking at this internal structure that if I want to pick up a short here at this level here, if this market pullback giving me a complete correction mode here, then I have another reason to do what? To pick up some, like that's average about 100 pips to the upside. So that means if you have about 10 or 12 pips here, you're having almost 1 to 10 to the upside. So I'm looking at the lower time frame on that of Euro USD and looking at how I can be able to scalp or do some kind of day trading within that 1 hour and 15-minute time frame, because the 1 hour 15 minutes have given me impulse and correction movements already. But you should already know that if you are taking this kind of a trade, you consider just the internal structure movement. So that means if normal, what you do is you do risk like 2% of your capital per trade. If you are taking this kind of a buy, you need to reduce your risk. You have to do because you already know that what you want to do here is a kind of counter movement against what the higher time frame is telling you. So you just want to day trade, just want to scalp within this particular range. Catch that. At the end of the day, maybe what you even target to be like maybe 50 pips to the upside, which is the immediate high. So you're just looking at that sharp movement within this particular lower time frame and make your move. So for those of us who scalp or who do day trading, take note of this movement on Euro USD, which I've already showed us what I want to do in the bigger picture. All right, all right, all right, all right. Having said that, then I have GJ. I know we're talking about GJ on Sunday, which I said I need GJ to give me a shift from the range he has been maintaining for weeks now. So let me mark it out. So we have this particular range here. No, we're talking about, okay, if it's going to break it to the downside, let us be sure that it's going to take it to the downside. And if it's taking it up, fine, beautiful. They already know what you want to do. If you check from this swing low to this swing high, this level here is just at immediate after 50% of that of retracement, 50% of that of retracement. And now the range has been taken out to the upside, having handle closure above it, which is this particular level here. So what I'm looking at now, I have two levels. We all know that the way GG always move, it moves like gold because it may not give you that complete level of retracement. It may not give you that complete level of retracement. So currently now I'm looking at this OB immediately after 50% of that swing high. So that means this is still my discount price if I have this correction back to the downside. And within that range, I would like to take a long on GJ to the upside. We've been waiting for this breakout since last week. So we've gotten it yesterday, having 4 hours candle closure above that particular high. I know we may likely have other OBs here, but I would like to go with this one that is below 50%. And before market will even get to the extreme, the market have gotten here, so which may likely have a very good entry condition within this particular range before we continue going to the upside. So GG has given us a shift, and I'm currently looking at this first 4 hours OB, and fine, we may be looking at entry conditions, but GJ can be so funny most time, just a spike. We are back to that level, we are moved. So it depends on how you now take your entries. But those are the levels I'm looking at on GJ as the first guy. Then I have ADC share. For ADC share, we also look at it on Sunday night. And I was also talking about the weekly candles that the market presented, which is a very good one. We have good rejection. And I'm currently looking at all these level here as liquidity area, which I also like markets to grab since we've gotten a shift here on the 4 hours to the downside. I'm looking at all these movements now more as market building back to this 4 hours will be. So what I'm currently looking at is let them push back to the upside. The same thing that I got on what is his name? On Euro USD. I also have that same thing here on ADC share. For those of us who also want to scalp it, let's go to 1 hour. So if you check on the 1 hour time frame, I have this 1 hour will be here. Please mind you, when you are trying to do this kind of counter movement, like what I explained on Euro USD, make sure that you reduce your risk. Then you may not even reduce your risk if you've accept the risk that you just wanted to let go. That's something that is another topic on its own that is a symposium that we need to listen and talk about when it comes to your entries when you are doing your counter trending. So I'm currently looking at I want to sell 4 hours time frame, yes, but I'm currently looking at this particular internal structure here that also have this liquidity area here. So looking at it, we have the impulse movement, we have this 1 hour internal shift to the upside. That the market can still pull back here, then I may likely look for a way to join this particular correction to the upside. If you have that pushback to that lower, this 1 hour hobby, and looking at it, it now depends on how you manage your trade. Like what I said, you can choose to because this is about it's giving about 1 to 5. Let's even use like 10 pip stop plus. Yeah, we're still having average of 1 to 5 of that particular range before the market will start selling. Looking at this entry levels here, though is the whole level is that 4 hours will be that I'll be looking for lower time frame entry. So looking at ADC shift, I'm also looking at a counter just like what we had on that Euro USD. The market pullback still giving more of correction. That's another thing you have to notice. Make sure you're having that correction mode. Then this 1 hour hobby will be a very good 1 hour hobby, which I would like to take advantage of. And one of the reasons why I said I need to adjust not to be really like that is because the market has been so quiet, a lot of ranging movements. So when I was just doing, I was like, okay, let me see how I can catch some lower time frames, some day trading movements. Now, while waiting for the swing setup, and that was what I give birth to all this counter movement. That is why you need to be very careful in respect to your risk exposure when you are taking the counter movements. Part of my confirmation is I'm seeing liquidity grab somewhere here, and I have a valid hobby here on 1 hour time frame. So that once market push back to that level, then I would like to take a buy back to where I really want to take a sell from. So that means I'm having the same condition on both Euro USD and AUD shelf. Let's take note of that. And the last guy I'm looking at for the week is that of ADUSD. ADUSD. If you're looking at ADUSD, based on the internal structure to moved on the daily, the market is still bullish, and we are looking at this internal structure here. If you check it on the daily time frame, we've not really gotten any major shift to the downside. Fine, for the 4 hours is giving us this particular internal structure here. But looking at this particular range to the upside, this is a swing low and a swing high. We are still within this particular movement. So the 4 hours time frame is giving us a valid OB to trade within this particular range here. So I'm currently looking at this level here. as liquidity for this range. So that means this market still maintain its bullish movement until they are taking out these lows to the downside. So I'm still looking at this particular range here on ADUSD. So which the 4 hours has given us a shift to the downside. Beautiful, very good one. But on the daily time frame, the market is still bullish. So I'm still looking at this daily low. I mean, this 4 hours valid order block for me to join by continuation. So that means if the market gets back to this level here, looking at this liquidity area here, I'll be waiting for a lower time frame reaction within this particular range. Now, having said that I'll be waiting for that, I also want us to look at the lower time frame also on 1 hour time frame. So if I have this impulse movement down here to the downside, and the 4 hours time frame has given me shift to the downside, clear. So what's the market telling me? The market is telling me that okay, the lower time frame starting from that 4 hours, 1 hour seems to be bearish. That has not changed the direction of the market on the daily. So as a smart trader that we understand structure, I can choose to also trade the internal structure on that lower time frame. Example is what we have on the screen now. Now the lower time frame is currently giving me correction back to the upside. Then we are having valid hobby. I mean likelihood because this is the hobby that took out this particular 4 hours level to the downside. So that means if the market also continues, so that means I'm also looking at what I'm seeing on ADC Chef and also Euro USD, which is the internal structure now. So as long as the market continues pushing back to this particular level here, I'm like consider taking a short. If the market give me a lower time frame entry to the downside on ADUSD. And mind you, the internal structure is also because I was also looking at this on the 1 hour. The only thing is the 1 hour movement has not given a body closure above this particular high here. That's why I don't even consider joining that 1 hour internal move, which will be giving like average of 1 to 5 if you have to take it. So I would have said, I would have liked to trade the internal structure, but internal structure has not given that shift to the upside. So if you are trading or if you are looking at it or before the close of trading activities today, if you got that particular shift here, then I can also consider, let me do some scalping things within this particular range here that if the market take out this particular high, then I consider this level that took out that high in taking a buy from here to where we consider sell level. So, but you have to see this shift first before making your decision on ADUSD. So what I'm trying to do is, despite the fact that we are even waiting for that swing trade, that long number of pips we want to catch, we also want to trade the internal structure. The same thing is applicable to Euro USD, AUD also ADUSD. We already mark out our major levels, but we're also looking at the internal structure and see how we can take advantage of it on 15 minutes, take advantage of it on 1 hour. And also, if I'm trading this particular movement, just like what I showed you on that ADC for Euro USD, I always like to point out my liquidity areas, like what we are having now. I'm currently seeing this level here as my liquidity area on the ADUSD already. So looking at it, allow markets to grab it, then consider this valid level here. So guys, I'm trading, I consider a lot of internal structure movement since we are still waiting for that bigger picture. Since the market makers are still playing their games, we're waiting for them. I also want to take a move on the internal structures. For those of us who are swing traders who have been waiting from last week that have not been able to get in any trade, let's consider trading the internal structure. And the best thing you can do to protect yourself is you should reduce your risk. So that means if you are the type that risk like 1% before now, you can choose to do a counter trend and risking 0.5. If you do 2%, you can choose to do a counter trend by risking 1%. So guys, that's what I have for this week, which I'm still looking at. And I hope the market respect those conditions so that we can be able to get some of these 1 to 5, 1 to 4 on this lower time frame while we are waiting for a bigger picture in the markets. So, guys, the floor is open now. Let me hear from you guys. Let me hear from you guys. What are you looking at? I was saying the same thing. And if you are seeing something different from what I share, please let me hear from you guys. Let me hear from you guys.
Good morning, house.
Mr. K, morning.
Good morning.
I've been trying to reach you.
I saw a missed call this morning. I'll return it after the Zoom.
All right, man. All right, man.
Good
What are
morning,
you saying,
everyone.
sir? Morning.
I'm not on currency pairs for now.
Okay.
I want to swing GU. I want to swing EU. I'm looking for
Okay.
I'm looking for sales on both EU and GU, EU GU. That's the two currency pairs I'm looking at. Then on USD JPY, I have two swings on that pair.
Okay. Hold on. Are you with your laptop?
Yes, I'm on my laptops.
Okay.
My laptop is
Okay.
just.
I will allow you to share now. Let me just ask. So, others, do you have anything you want to contribute to what I've shared before I give the floor to K?
Good morning. I'm okay
Morning,
with what you shared.
morning. Uh, All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Just go down. Just down. Wiz.
Mr. Banks,
Yeah, I want.
your counter trend on the EU buy, do you have a
Yeah.
proper change of character?
Yeah, I'm only looking at it on the 15 minutes and that of 1 hour.
So
So
I'm okay
I'm
with
looking.
what you shared, though.
Oh, okay, okay. This is what I'm looking at on that 15-minute movement on the Euro USD. So we're looking at if you have this complete correction mode back to this level, this is a valid level which we would like to take the counter movement from. You can, okay, you can share your screen. You can share your screen now, okay.
Okay, sir.
So it's just that movement on that lower time frame, like 1 to 5, and the 15 minutes and 1 hour is clear, showing us that movement.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Money.
For the past 2 weeks now, we've have choppy price actions.
Uh,
Um, I don't really do choppy price actions, so I've been trading less. So looking at Mr. Banks has already talked about EU. I have the same bias with EU. I want to swing. I'm looking for a sell, but I have for those familiar with CTR entries, it's just another name for price tapping into another block that is responsible for breaking the previous structure to continue our directional bias, as we all know. So looking at that, I don't have a proper change of character yet, but Mr. Banks has one. We have this price took out this high. So on 1 hour time frame, this is not a proper high yet. It's a failed high. So but on 30 minutes or on 15 minutes, it's a valid high, which made this other block around here a valid zone to to buy off from for a continuation of a buy, just like what Mr. Bank said. So I totally agree with that. So let's just go to USD since I think that's the difference. But if you're buying EU, I would advise you guys should be very, very careful, like Mr. Bank said, because price might continue dumping. I'm expecting a strong dollar this week. Fundamentally, I'm expecting a very bullish dollar this week. at least. So on USDJPY, let me focus on the external time, because internal structure, if you, I'm not doing internal structure for now on UJ. I'm waiting for price to tap into this other block, this extreme order block, and I want to take a long sell from here. I also have a daily buy on the same pairs. So what this effect that we have here, I was expecting a dump into this zone before this fundamental news. That was, I think that was last 2 weeks. That was when this news, last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks, sure. That's when we have this news, and ending of April. So when price took out all these previous lows, that was when I had this sell buyers. Initially, I didn't have the sell buyers. But just like what I said in our last 2 weeks technical analysis, I'm not expecting this other block to hold. I'm expecting this to fail because we don't have what? Price has not created any liquidity inside the 50%. This is below the 50%. So price has not created any liquidity. Price is still engineering price action and it's still choppy. So we might have a rapid buy off or a sell off. Either way, I'm waiting for these two zones, and I'll be entering with a lower time frame confirmation in church on between 15 minutes to 1 hour. Once I have a church, I will be entering after price has already triggered from either of these two, whichever comes first, either of these two. So that's what I have on USDJPY. I don't really have much in this current price action. I'm expecting more sales on gold. For those expecting buys on gold, I'll probably see it as a trend reversal or a pullback on gold for now. So, like, we have last week we closed bearish on Friday, but during the weekend we had a bullish price action during the weekend. Now, so which created a gap for those that trade on Oanda. They will have a very big gap at this zone. So now the gap has been filled, as we can see. We didn't get a proper sell confirmation on gold yesterday. I think I posted it in the group. So for those looking for 15 minutes, there was no proper sell confirmation. Probably 5 minutes, or I don't know which other strategy. But for structures, we didn't have a proper sell confirmation. This was caught on 5 minutes time frame, which was even a risky trade because I was still expecting price to take out this eye. What was on my internet? My internet has been crappy. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can hear you.
My internet has been clear. I think it's this weather. So right now, for us to consider, I'm considering a sell continuation on gold because if I'm considering buying gold, I want price to completely take out these zones. I don't know if you can. I want price to completely take out 4588. I want price to break out above these zones. Above these zones. I'm expecting price to break out above these zones. But if I didn't see that, a sell continuation continues. My external on daily time frame, I have this other block that I'm expecting price come and reclaim. And I have on 4 hours, I have liquidity below on 4 hours, a sell side liquidity below. The price might still come to mitigate. So for gold buyers, even though I also love buying gold, for gold buyers, I think we are still coming down. We might get a pull. We might actually get a trend reversal. That's a pull up into this zone for a continuation of a sell. Our previous zone has been taken out. Looking at the current price action, our previous zone has been taken out, and I have a valid sell continuation at this zone. So if you're looking to catch a long trade if you're looking for a swing trade on gold, I will advise we wait for what? We wait for a price, a bearish, a swing sell on gold. We don't have a counter confirmation yet, but if we do on lower time frame, I will share in the group on gold. Right now, I'm looking at this zone to buy from, but as you can see, price tapped into into the fair value gap before the other block and price pull up. So there is no significant price action movement for us to start buying from here. Apart from the fact that price broke structure internally, we don't have, apart from price broke structure internally, we don't have any reason to start buying up from here. Price has not tapped into this zone, and we don't even have an internal break of structure for us to say, okay, fine, we want to use a structural continuation to buy up. So we still have to wait. In the price action like this, patience is virtue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For the past 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I've barely traded. For someone like me that trade 9 setup in a week or 7 setup, I did just 3 setup last week. And right now, I've not done anything this week. So we just have to be mindful.
That's why I'm even looking at those internal structures and ready to also trade it so that we
So we
can.
just have to be mindful. The reason why I'm not catching any buys, I saw this buy, but the reason why I'm not catching buys right now on gold because buys are counter trend on gold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll rather save that money than piling up SLs. Because last week alone, gold gave me like 4 confirmations to buy, and out of the 4, it failed 3 times. So even with confirmation entry, it still fails. So we just have to know, like, I was going to these 2 cells, I was going to hold it. I was going to hold it until I realized that double buyers. Internally, we are bullish on gold. So I don't blame those buying gold. But it's just that when we are bullish on gold, gold will not do this. Gold is choppy at the moment. These buys are just liquidity grab. That's why you can see that the momentum looks strong, but they're not going anywhere. So they're just manipulation moves. And the sell is choppy. So it's just frustrating. So in a case like this, it's either you stay out or you just risk less if you can't deal with it. Now, I think JPY pairs are moving this season.
Yeah, it started moving yesterday.
JPY pairs are moving this
Yes.
season.
Yes. Yesterday was a very good one. So I'm expecting
GJ moved
back
well.
for
I
GJ.
think one of my students caught GJ yesterday, caught 12 hour.
Okay,
I
we
think
have
maybe
less
from
than
last week. I
less than
don't know.
1 minute too.
Less than 1 minute. So,
Yeah.
boss man, I'm focusing on the main trend, the swing. I'll wait for the swing. This period, I'll just wait for a swing setup. I'll just wait for swing. For those trading JP225, I'm looking for a buy continuation from this other block. I will share this in the group. I'm looking for buy continuation from here. And if you do not trade it, you can check it out. This period that USD pairs are messing up, please check out
Can take
JPY
advantage
pairs.
of this
You know,
one.
you won't be disappointed. They are moving well. Last week, that's what I was trading last week. I don't even focus on gold at all. They are moving well.
Okay.
Mr. Barnes, I'll return your call now, sir.